Hi folks, we're back again here at the Ghetto Fabulous Studios, and we're going to rant today about money, the dollar, economic standings, and the government's giveaways. Okay, I can run down a list of things that I disagree with that would take hours. But let's cover the biggies. Let's cover welfare, food stamps, Medicaid, disability, and Social Security. All of these things are provided to us by our government from the tax money that they collect every year. Okay, great. Now, what is disabled? Disabled means someone is incapable of performing the job for which they trained. That doesn't mean they're worthless. That doesn't mean they're not people. That doesn't mean that they're bad. That doesn't mean that they're stupid. It means that they can no longer physically perform the task for which they are trained. Disability comes in all shapes and sizes. However, I believe that we have been giving far too much leniency to those who could perform some tasks for our society. If society's supporting them and paying for their bills, then maybe they could do something to contribute back to society. Teach a kid to read. Teach an adult who's illiterate to read. Stuff envelopes. Answer emails. Answer the phone. Make phone calls. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. So, what exactly is it that we're doing with all this money, this disability money thing? Well, there's people that are double dipping. There's people that are taking disability and then working under the table for cash. If they're able to work under the table, they don't need disability. Now, some people get caught, but there's just too many of them for government to properly police. Well, if you know what's going on, and it's coming out of your children's future tax money, and the future of this society, isn't it your job to report it? You know, it used to be in communities, people would police their own. Back in the day, if a kid was acting up, the parents, the uncles, the grandparents would take the kid aside and they'd straighten them out. Well, community is kind of fallen by the way of the dodo bird. We don't have neighbors looking out for neighbors as much as we used to. We're not up in other people's business as much when it comes to who lives next door. Oh, we're all up in everybody's business on the news, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, just you name the application. Oh, we're all up in their business there. But what if Ralph owned his own roofing company and Ralph got hurt on the job and can't work? Well, Ralph's a roofer. That's his job. That's his trade. And Ralph can't work. Well, then we as a society need to be good neighbors and help Ralph out. Now, we're doing this through disability. What if Ralph gets better and goes back to work? Well, great. Good for Ralph. What if Ralph goes back to work for cash and doesn't report it to disability and collects both? We'll just turn a blind eye. No. That's stealing from everybody's children. That needs to stop. We as citizens of this country need to stand up and say, hey, this dude's double dipping. They catch him at it, they find him for it, he goes on about his life, and everything's hunky-dory. No hard feelings. Don't do that again. Shame on him. And Ralph learns that he can't double dip. Now, welfare. While I believe that there are some people in this country that are incapable of supporting themselves, and I understand that there are areas in this country where jobs are almost non-existent, we pay welfare. Well, the folks that are on welfare should be the first called when a job opening comes up within the government. Are you willing to train to learn to do this job? No. No more welfare. Go find a job. Simple as that. Simple as that. There's a lot of jobs out there that we pay state, city, county, federal employees to do. Our government's gotten too big. Now we're paying them to do the job and we're paying you for welfare. No. Let's take a program that takes the welfare recipient and takes cash out of their hands. No longer do they get cash to do with as they please. What we must do as a society is shelter them, feed them, clothe them, and provide medical care. How can we do this? Without cash. They've got to pay at the grocery store. They've got to pay at the so-and-so. They've got to pay it to... We're a capitalist society. Let's go to capitalism on this. We give them vouchers that are good for the store of choice in their area. We offer to these companies the ability to bid on contracts for groceries, for soap, for shampoo, for toiletries, for laundry detergent, for clothing, for shoes, for over-the-counter medicines. Low bidder wins. We pay less money for the products, and the welfare recipient gets a guarantee of everything they're going to need, and the right to choose what things they feel are necessary for themselves. They may not have the choice of where to go, but the company that bids must meet certain requirements. They must carry toothpaste. They don't have to carry every brand, but they have to carry a selection of toothpaste. They must carry deodorant. They don't have to carry every brand, but they have to carry deodorant. Simple as that. Similar to the WIC program or food stamps, you can only buy certain things. Well, you can only buy them at this store that has won the lowest bid. Now, what does that do? That helps bolster stores that are having a hard time making the ends meet, so they don't make the profit margin. They're also not throwing things away. They're not writing stuff off as a loss. I don't care if everybody on welfare wears the same color shoes. They have shoes. I don't care if everybody on welfare wears the same pair of pants in different sizes. They have clothes. I don't care if everybody on welfare uses the same type of toothbrush. They have a toothbrush. Now, housing. No longer do we do Section 8. Do we allow individuals to live whip-willy wherever they want, and then we have to send vans out to pick them up to haul them into the doctor's office. No. Where is welfare the most concentrated? In the inner city areas. We take one building, One building that's distressed, in trouble, whatnot, we pay to have that building repaired. We pay to have that building brought up to code. We pay to have that building freshly remodeled and kept clean. We pay to have air conditioning and heat put in that building, running water, clean running water. And we give them a space for their family size. They can live there, where we can bring services to them instead of hauling them all whip-willy everywhere they want. I don't care if they don't all have to go to the same doctor. At least they have a doctor. I don't care if they all have to go to the same dentist. At least they have a dentist. And there again, we bid it out. Lowest bidder wins. Bingo. And we bring services to them. Now, here's another rub. Well, some of these people don't have the education and they don't have the ability to get the education. Great. That's a problem. We can solve that. Here's how we do it. We bid out to every high school and college, whether it's for a GED or to earn a college degree. Let them fill their classrooms. Let their teachers earn extra money by doing evening classes. All of these teachers that are union, that are unfit to teach children because of their behavior or their actions, they can't be fired, but they can't work with children. And they're still on the union rolls, and we still have to pay them. Great. Your new job is to go to the welfare housing and teach. And you will teach from morning till afternoon, just like you would in a school. You will offer classes in your field of expertise. And then we fill in the gaps with vouchers to other schools. We fill in the gap with vouchers to other teachers that wish to earn extra money. We fill in vouchers to colleges that need to fill classrooms, that need to meet quotas. And we get these people a proper education. We get them to a level of acceptable intelligence and education. What they choose to do with it is their freedom. Whether they choose to take these classes or not is theirs. But it's there. They can no longer use it as an excuse as to why they are still on welfare. Number 3. The buildings have to be cleaned. The buildings have to be maintained. Bid it out to certifiable contractors who have done this job before, and assign them workers from the housing unit that they will supervise, and they will report on their ability to function doing that job, and do some on-the-job training, vocational training with repairing windows and doors and electrical work, plumbing, janitorial, landscaping, yard care. And lo and behold, we'll have a building full of educated, well-trained workers ready to go replace these duds that won't do their damn jobs. Money better spent. We're still spending money on them. We're still making sure these people are cared for. We are still maintaining a good, above poverty level quality of life. But we do it smartly. We don't cater to their whim. They're free to do what they want. But if you want what we have to offer, you have to do it our way and live here. And there's a lot of room for that to have tremendous freedoms. More freedoms than some of the government regs now. Plus, they would be learning to be self-sufficient. They would have pride in their work that they do every day. They would have pride in themselves for earning an education. Social Security. It has been jacked with since inception. Greedy politicians, greedy career politicians, could not keep their booger hook out of the cookie jar. They put IOUs where the cash was. They should be jailed for theft. Social Security is there for those who have paid into the system so that they may retire knowing that their income level will be guaranteed. We've jacked that money up, we've stolen it, we've abused it, we've used it for other things, and now we have to borrow from China to cut checks every month. Disability, welfare, Social Security. Now let's go to Medicaid. Medicaid should be dissolved, period. Period. And an income-based economic sliding scale of payment should be implemented across the board, just like taxes. The more you make, the more you have to pay for health care. Simple as that. Everybody should be able to access health care. Now, if you can't afford it, if your income level is so low that you can't afford it, you receive services for free. But you receive services equal to the wealthy individual that goes in there and pays more. Now, why should the wealthiest of us have to pay more? Because they can. And they should. Why should middle America have to pay more? Because middle America is living fat and sassy, and has for years. It doesn't detract from their ability to live comfortably. It would not detract from their ability to do the things that they have earned the income level to do. I'm not talking about gross, flagrant charges. But then, on the backside of all of that, the cost of medicine should be reduced. How do we do this? How do we reduce the cost of medicine? Research costs so much money. Look at how much it costs a doctor to get their PhD. Look at how much we as a society should be subsidizing medical companies to make drugs. We as a society should be subsidizing doctors and nurses to earn their degrees. As part of their gratitude for this subsidy, they would have to provide services at a flat rate. Simple as that. Now, can they perform private practice on their own on top of this service that they? Absolutely. And charge whatever they want. For those that wish to choose, who wish to purchase private insurance, not have it forced on them by the government. We are spoiled, rotten brats. We want it, and we want it now. I got to get mine. The U.S. government is printing so much money every day just to cover our debts that the world is looking at the dollar and saying, I don't know. This is a first, folks. We are the only country in the world that has the worldwide accepted currency, the dollar. Once that goes away and the world decides that the dollar is no longer safe and secure as it has been in past years, we are going to see a depression greater than the depression Germany felt post-World War I. We will not be able to print any more money. We will not be able to support our debt. We will not be able to pay off entitlements. We will not be able to pay food stamps, welfare, Social Security, Medicaid. Instead of rolling up our sleeves and working, we have thrown money at things since World War II because we had it to spare. Well, folks, over the last 20 years, the United States has exported twice the amount of gold it's imported. Those statistics are very clear. The numbers are very clear. We have no gold reserves left. We don't have enough gold to cover our debts. So we devalue the dollar and print more money to cover our debts. If you look at the stock market, if you look at what's going on internationally, treaties between Russia and China, between Russia, China, and Saudi Arabia and India, and this whole Middle Eastern little circle, they are starting to trade gas, oil, in local currencies for gold and bypassing the American dollar. If that becomes a commonplace event, the American dollar will almost instantaneously be valued by 25%. Now think about this for a minute. You're griping about gasoline costs, you're griping about food costs, you're griping about, the cost of living, energy. Look at what happened when the British pound sterling dropped 14% back in the 80s. Imagine the dollar dropping 25%. That precious cellular service that we all love will be $500 to $600 a month. The phones will cost $2,500. Loaf of bread will be 15 bucks. Gallon of gas will be $25. Your electric bill will be 900 bucks a month. Rent will be $2,500, $3,000 a month for a small place. Tires for your car will be $5,000. A new car will be $120,000. That's where we're headed. Can your pocketbook absorb that kind of increase? Mine can't. So what do you do about it? What do we do about it? We quit electing career politicians who are in it for the money, who could care less whether or not we suffer. Start thinking when you vote. Start electing people that talk sense about really helping people off of welfare, out of their disability, retraining, reteaching, educating, promoting them, empowering them, making them an equal in our society instead of a pariah that we all just go, that's a shame, and throw money at. Because we really, deep down in our hearts, don't care about those people. If we cared, we'd get up off our bulbous butts and do something about it. We'd elect real people to make real decisions that are clear, concise, and make sense. We'd elect politicians that would fiscally repair our country, that would make sound money choices, who could say to the people, no, we don't have the money to do that now. Great idea. Some point in time we should take care of that. But right now we have these priorities that take precedence to secure a safe society where privatized individuals can deal with that problem. Think about it, folks. Think about where you stand on these issues. Think about what's going on in your world. We need some fixes, and we need them now. Signing off from the Ghetto Fabulous Studios. Have a great day.